Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab. And yeah, I'm in the book and we rocking and rolling. We about to go into what I call the ab conscious, okay? And AKA your ab is the truth holder, your heart. Let's talk about it. Rightisms, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's always a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tuning in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to, know thyself. See where we're going with this. So let's get it together. I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. That's what I do for you, but it's rhetorical. If you don't have to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. It's simple, so you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe or think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I could awaken them on the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself and to Maya be true. Let's talk about this thing we call the heart ab. It's really called the ab conscious. Conscious is spelled two different ways. When you're dealing with the head, mind conscious is CONSCIOUS. When you're dealing with the heart conscious, the proven conscious science is spelled CONSCIENS. Excuse me. Meaning, proven scientifically. Okay, let's talk about it. The ab consciousness is the part of our consciousness which registers all our feelings, all our intentions, and our desires. And since the universe is what? All mental. Everything is up here. One's thoughts are of great importance. Why? Because one is of one's thoughts are of great importance to one's evolution and consciousness. How wise are you gonna get? How smart are you gonna get? How much are you gonna study? How much time you gonna put into learning the teachings and implementing for yourself? That's all up to every individual. We all start out in the same playing field, okay? But thoughts are controlled. How? By one's conscious. CONSCEINCE. That means here, not here. And one's perceptions of reality, which is dictated by one's level of intellect or wisdom, one's knowledge of reality, and by one's subconscious understanding of reality. A lot of us are ignorant to a lot of things. And if you are one of them, you have no clue what I just said. But your idea of understanding reality lies in the heart. This conscious can be tricked, and maybe break that down for you. But you have to gain the understanding within yourself. If you understand the one self, you, to be what? If you believe yourself to be mortal, an individual, that was his concept. Watch this. One, you will live in such a manner that you will develop what? Mental concepts and consciousness, and your subconscious will be reinforced by one's life experiences. All he wanted to do was zoom, 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 like them young girls, and boom, boom. Okay, but that's his life was based on that, and he lived a fruitful life doing that. But it wasn't long. They say dog shit fast, don't shit long. Those who live that fast life don't live long. Okay? One's level of consciousness, How much did you grow? How wise did you get within yourself? And one's level of consciousness can be raised by a conscious effort by oneself. Your own effort. If you decide that you choose to grow in what? Wisdom and knowledge in the spirit through the daily practice of righteous and virtues and self-discipline, meaning controlling over your mind, not just your lower self, but thinking right. That's what's important. Thinking is what you're going to do. But thinking right means you're going to knock out all the nonsense and just think about what's positive, right thinking. And the daily study of what? Nature itself. How? Through science and or spiritual teachings. I know that because that's what I did and that's how I did it. This is the book that helped me do it. So yeah, I'm familiar. At the time when I was learning this, I can't wait to see if what they say really happened. I couldn't wait to practice it. I couldn't wait to put it to use. Been using it ever since. What they tell you. I'm just laying it out there. So now, if you are able to reach a personal understanding within yourself that you are immortal, ding, 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 there we go. Once you realize who you are, you now understand. You don't believe, you understand that you are what? Immortal and eternal. That means you are one with all things and other beings. Y'all all are spiritually one. That's what you realize for yourself. Because your ignorant brothers and sisters don't know who they are, don't know that your brothers and sisters, that shouldn't affect you at all. Trust me, self-mastery is dealing with that. I do daily. Moving on, ain't about that. But understanding how people are. Don't hold them accountable to be like you. Just hold yourself accountable to be the best you. And everybody's got to do the same thing too. That ain't your job. I don't know what the hell I think I can change people, help people, but yeah, I chose this job to teach. So here I am doing my thing. But the main thing about it, I ain't got a problem with. I live what I teach. So I know what I'm saying works. That's my point. And then you will what? You will live now within that reality, not the illusionary one where everybody needs this and want that and pleasures of the flesh. No, get past that. Why? That's how you get to the eternity. If you still stuck on this physical stuff and personal stuff, you ain't ready. And it's going to tell you, let me get to the lesson. Just stop giving the lesson away. I'm going to pass it. But you ain't my lesson already. Okay, let me get to the lesson. But again, so in the judgment, at judgment day, they're going to judge your heart. And from the book of Coming Forth by Day, it says, it is the heart that's one's deepest thoughts and ideas of oneself is and reality, which is what's going to be judged. The real you. The real you, not the person you present yourself. No. Stop that. I'm so-and-so. I'm Elmer J. Fudd. I want to imagine it. Yeah. Man, don't you know who I am? I'm so-and-so. I was Bill's son. I was proud 1 minute and shame and embarrassed the next. So it goes both ways. You got to take the bad with the good, so to speak. But when it's you have to take care of the bad. You got to get the bad out. Okay? So if you commit crime, and when I was young, I committed a bunch of crimes. Right this, knowing that they was wrong. I was a drug dealer. I knew what I was doing was wrong. And knowing that they evil deeds, right? And then you will suffer according to your own assessment of your own guilt, making your heart heavy because why? You're responsible for the action that you did. Again, it falls back on you. So when you do it willingly, intentionally, don't look for no kickbacks. Don't look for sympathy. Don't look for compassion. No, you messed up. And you got to pay for that. Again, when you realize those things, now you will stop doing the things that'll make your heart heavy. So if you think you committed murder and nobody knows, you got away with clean cut. All right, I got that away. Now, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. 22 negative confessions. When it's time to stand at Judgment Day, there's some things that you're going to have to say. And if you didn't live up to what you're saying, your heart will expose you. That's why it's not going to lie for you. That's the concept. And what is this? On the other hand, now if one lived spiritual and virtuously, righteously, obtaining knowledge daily, that one is the spirit acting what? Honestly, you doing the right thing. Ain't nothing wrong with doing the right thing. I used to think, right, good people was corny. I thought bad was good. So understand the mindset. I've changed since then, but that's where I was with that mindset. And thinking the whole time, why ain't nothing going my way? Why I never get a break. Everything I lived under Murphy's Law. What could go wrong would go wrong. And when you ain't serving the higher good, you ain't doing the right thing, what could go wrong will go wrong. So I experienced that before I understood it. So yeah, I get it now. So I'm trying to pass it on. And again, in life, when you try to do one's best, be your best self. Know and understand what it takes to do just that for yourself. If you got goals and aspirations to do something, that's what you should stick to. Stay on that road. It's going to be lonely, yeah, but stay on that road. Why? To success means self-discipline. If your wherewithal ain't disciplined enough to where you can focus on what it is you're trying to get done, you're going to have that roller coaster lifestyle, up and down. Don't like that. I like to smooth it out. Okay, but you doing your best when? At all times. I don't take days off. I just found out that my idol, Bruce Lee, never not trained. Every day. Didn't break diet. That's discipline at another level. That's whole. Wait a minute, but now I practiced semen retention for a year and a half. I stressed it. Just, what the hell, But that's discipline. That's what I'm trying to say. If you are disciplined enough to hold yourself accountable to do what it is you think you should be doing, that's all that counts. Why? That'd be frowned upon. I mean, that'd be smiled on. Look at the brother consistency. Look what he did. Yeah, go. So this in time when you're doing your best, win all the time, and that will what? That's how you relinquish any physical desires, negative thoughts, and the results of any of your actions. You're only doing what's what good, and so the results are always gonna be what good. Y'all call them blessings. I'm blessed every day. Why? I'm doing good, positive deeds. Obviously, that's to me, that's like me not being knowing, well, why everything going wrong? Murphy's Law, why you ain't doing the right thing. Now that I'm doing the right thing, everything just seems to fall my way. Big difference. And I can attest to that. That's what I'm doing right now. And by watch this. Now, be they negative or positive outcomes, then one will not suffer. Why? Because the consequences of those actions, you should strive to maintain an equal, light heart, whether a project that you involve in succeeds or not. Play your role, do your part, don't worry about whatever don't concern you. But one did one's what? Best. I'm doing my best at what it is I think I should be doing. I'm not worried about somebody criticizing how they think or feel about that. Only what I'm trying to impress is that. And that's what at all times. And that anyone could ask. But most importantly, you should strive to maintain such equanimity in yourself because ultimately, neither actions nor fruits, the results, can provide true and lasting happiness in the physical world. So then what? You can neither add nor detract from one's essence except in an illusory manner. Think you gain and losing when it's really all just happening and you haven't experienced. But when your mind believes in them, this illusion, however, will only lead to what? More mental agitation in the short run and more guaranteed disappointment and frustration in the long run. So you ain't gonna win. That's what they're trying to say. I'm getting that concept. You ain't winning doing the wrong thing. I can attest to that. Why? I never won when I was living wrong. I never won. Nothing. Sorry. Personal there. You mad about something that's been happening. Let it go. All right. But this is the path of what I call ignorance. I walked that path with that guy. He never stopped. He kept going to the end. He never woke up. He never knew it. I, on the other hand, parted ways with that guy a long time ago. 40 years to be exact. And when you're just seeking fulfillment in this world of cause and effect, Scooby-Doo, rut roll, you're going to cause your own demise. Thus, one should pursue the detachment, and then one's conscience will be clear, and therefore one mental involvement in matter within the physical world of this physical world, time and space, will not hold your soul to experience hell or suffering in one's mind, of tormenting yourself with your own fears and your unfulfilled desires and pleasures and remorse, which could lead you to now another incarnation. Guaranteed, no doubt about it, he incarnated. Okay. So otherwise, your soul reincarnates in what? In further pursuit of what you didn't get done while you was here. You ran out of time. You thought you get a chance to do it again. I'll be right at it again. Moving on. But you come back in your pursuits of what? Fulfillment of your past desires. But in this process, suffers the pain and the toils of the physical existence. He caught hell at the end. Man, moving on. I got perfect experience of that one. But this concept is called, you ready? Karma. Karma gonna get you. They call it the hellhounds. They call it nightmare. No, karma. You start to relive all the stuff that you did that was bad. They say, everybody say before they die, they say life fast before your eyes. So if your dying process over a period of time, you're going to keep seeing that highlight reel. All the stuff that you did bad, yeah. And get ready for that. Why? But that's what they call hell, eternity. That's going to be your view from now on. Think about that. Okay. But in India, it was encompassed in what they call the mythology story and the philosophy of the Egyptian goddess we call Mishkenet back in 5,500 BCE. So we've been knowing that a long time. Okay. The judgment scale, the wind of the scale, been around since the beginning. Everybody got a version of it. Let's go. So let me get to that. This is what I'm trying to show you. Again, the universal box. This is the sun disk. Right? You see the W rays? Okay? And the wings for ascension. That's what he represents. He all encompasses. Excuse me, 1 minute. Oh yeah, excuse me. This is the universal box. This is the all encompassing. It got everything in it. All the attributes that you see here, the Urases, the wings for the ascension, and you will see here, it sustains everything here. I'm gonna break this down. What you see here. Remember, they wrote and they said everything in hieroglyphic form, so you got to break it down. I'll do that for you right quick. This is a good one here. All right. Now it says the cosmos therefore provides a mechanism in which one's own conscious, your heart, dispenses what? Exact justice to what? Itself. It's in accordance with what? Its own actions, better than any judicial system ever invented on earth. This is the truth. This is where it's at. That's what they said. The heart is seen as the seat of one's soul and is therefore the most important factor deciding the experiences of one's spirit. Only through a purified heart, living right, doing what I've been trying to show you, I'm showing you how to purify your heart, because only through a purified heart is it even possible for you to earn your wings of ascension to the heights of wisdom and intuitive. Intuitive means it's already in you. You have to rise to that conscious level to realize that and have understanding about your nature, of the truth of your own existence. You need to know who you truly are for yourself. That's what the mechanism we give you. And my philosophy teaches you to hold yourself accountable to do just that. It gets better. Watch this. The living, right living, is the truth and righteousness, which is Maya. I call it right thing in philosophy, but it's Maya. And as symbolized by what? Her feather. You know what a feather is like. And when that feather sits on the scale barely moves. So if your heart is anywhere, ain't like, you got a problem. That's the concept, so understand that. But it's compared to the feather, what? Righteous, justice, reciprocity, everything that's divine, that's what that feather represents and is very light. And it should be done when while still alive. You got to purify light in your heart before you die. For some reason, everybody think the Egyptian was obsessed with death. No, they understood death is a part of life. That's why we keep telling you. They knew about reincarnation. They keep telling you what to do to pass. They was all in by living right. Why? Before they died. Why? They had short lifespan anyway. They didn't have 100-something years. No, they know. Only the pharaohs got to be that, or the wise men every now and then. But they had to live righteous before death. And after death, which is imminent in everybody that's born, is there what? A few sins, your heart will be what? After death, if there are few, not saying none, but few, that means if the good deeds outweigh the bad actions, you can balance it out. So, okay, they give you that. They said with few sins, now your heart will what? Be lighter than Maya's feather. They ain't saying you gotta be perfect. They ain't saying you gotta be, no, they saying you have to put the work into light in your heart. And you being the owner of it fits for what? Now you are fit. Why? Because you know yourself. They know who you are. P-Funk is fit now to pass on to what? Eternity. I'm looking forward to that day. Okay, why? That's what you're here for, to do just that. If you study and learn what I'm doing, I'm finding out I need to do this. Why? I want to get that. I want that. I want eternity. I want immortality. So I live doing things I need to know to do to make that happen for myself, and trying to help you do the same for yourself. But it's you fit now what they call for eternal life. I mean, immortality. Once your spirit passes on, it's good forever. So, however, now here's the downside. If your heart is heavy with what? These qualities from your egoistic characteristic, aka Satanian qualities, if your heart is heavy with sin, anger, fear, jealousy, lust, covetousness, ignorance, egoism, or if it is too elated or full of what? Its own physical desires for worldly pleasures, things, material stuff, not just pleasures, but stuff. He's a stuff gatherer. And then it will what? Heavier than Maya's feather. Ding, 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 ding. Party's over for you, dude. And it will not what? Be fit for what? Life eternal. Can't go. Yet, this heart did not practice what? Righteous and virtuous living well enough to lighten his heart. He did a lot of stuff, but he didn't do nothing to what? Lighten his heart, better himself. He's still on the ego program. Doing him, gathering stuff, obtaining stuff. Yeah. But never lightened his heart. Moving on. The ab, your conscious. CONSCIENCE. I keep doing that for a purpose. This has been proven. And your ab can also be what? An excellent guide. I tell the story when I made that drug deal that got me locked up. My heart said don't do it. My mind said, man, get that money. I got the money. I paid the consequence. I've never listened to my mind since. Okay, that was over 40 years ago. Okay, but that's just saying your heart can be an excellent guide if you listen to your inner oracle. For those who wish to live a life of truth, aka Maya or right thinking, those who put aside their egoistic pride and can gain use of what? Their higher intelligence, studying and implementing what they learn, they're getting better, they're getting smarter, becoming more conscious within them, and they're able to find the truth where within them. That's all you need to do, right there. Once you do that, that does not come through just thinking. No. Just reading. No. The ab, your higher self, your subconscious mind, may be assessed by you being able to quieting the thoughts, negative thoughts, and then asking a question to yourself that's followed by that silence. Once again, the answer will what? Just seem to come. That's intuitiveness right there. The answer would seem to come what? Seemingly out of nowhere. Excuse me. It's in there. You just bringing it out. Why? By quieting your mind, giving it time to manifest within yourself. It don't come from nowhere. Where then your mind that only happens in the mind when the mind is clear. That's what meditation helps you do. Clear your mind. Free your mind and your ass will follow. Your heart will too. All right. But the mind is not just the soul. Well, the mind is not your soul. What you mean? The mind is limited. It's human. It's given to you. That's the human part of you. And it's subject to what? Ignorance, primarily ignorance about what? The Ba, the true self, which is the soul. Those who devote themselves to what? A religion of the mind, and those who indulge in sensory pleasures of the flesh, or those who think themselves to be exalted due to their intellectual powers and their position and station in life, think that their mental thoughts and their body are all there is to life, and that's called ignorance. And they will undergo, you ready? Death to the illusory ego self at the time of death. And when the physical body dies and comes, on the other hand, you will die with the physical body. Again, we call it dying twice. Why? Because you didn't pass the judgment test for the mayat, so your heart and your conscience would be dismissed. Your body and your conscience would be killed. The spirit goes off. And on the other hand, if they use the mind as the tool in which is intended and to develop and consciously and reach their higher intuitive aspect of themselves, Aset, which represents intuitive knowledge, where things just seem to just come out of nowhere. That's when you go into meditation and you start being downloaded information that you didn't even study for or learn. Why? It's been there the whole time. Everything you got is inside you. And that's one of the aspects of showing you just that. And watch this. Your intuitive aspects of it, it will transcend what your mind. They will not die. When you become spiritually enlightened, you don't die. Only the physical body dies. Now your conscience is enlightened. It's going home with the spirit. That's the concept. I got one more part. I'm going to take it on home. When you're developing your power of intuition, you're trying to reach Maya. And again, that's part, not Maya, but Aset. That's the intuitive part of you. Your spirit is Asar. They come together. You are the offspring. Your father is the spirit, but your mother is the what? Learner, the teacher, the intuitive knowledge that you need to reach so that you can have understanding and reach what? Immortality. And it is essentially on the spiritual path when intuition is only gotten through spirit and mind, heart, mind coherence. There you go. And this is the only, here we go. This is the only way for you to become one with God. I'm taking it home. If this don't bring you to where I need you to be, and I'm not going to say it too. Watch this. Intuition is spiritual perfection. I just gave you perfection in action. That's you practicing your spiritual discipline and holding yourself accountable, and you were raised to that level. Where while your thinking mind, right thinking, is related to what? Your egotistical vision of one's self as what? An individual. If you ain't right thinking, you're egotistical thinking, I'm just a human being. I got to get mine. You only get one shot at, do the best. Yeah, that concept was a little bit right, a little bit wrong, but he didn't have a better understanding for himself. But individuals, we are humans. We are mortals. That's the I, me. That's the I, selfish. That's the ego. The ego is mortal. And mortals die. However, always a however, intuition is what your spirit is, and which is what? Eternal, and that's what's immortal. That's the aspect of you that makes you immortal when you become conscious of that fact. And now the goal for all human beings, right? Think is important mostly, is for you to develop your intuitional capabilities. Meaning what? Meaning you have to raise your level and to leave your ego lower level mind behind. We must train how? Through wisdom, practicing spiritual disciplines, and that's how you develop your higher mind. Daily study, Shidi, intuitive studying this, okay, constant studying. And that's how you raise your intellect. You become smarter. And you now understand it as what? as your spirit and not as your physical body or your impure mind. When you have knowledge of self, you know you're not your body. You're not even your egoistic concept of who you are. You are one with God. When you come conscious of that, that's immortality and that's intuitive knowledge. Why? Because it was in you the whole time. You just had to figure it out. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'll be back with some more. Oh, I ain't finished. Sorry. We got the ab and the ba. The ab is the heart, consciousness, right? The ba is the spirit. They got to become one. And let me break it for you right quick. It's interesting how to note that the ab spelled backwards is ba. These two words, however, are more intricately related than just in the spellings. Watch this. Our ignorance causes us to be what? Fear. False evidence appearing real because we're ignorant, we are feared. To the point that we perform negative deeds, egoistic concepts, self-serving, which we later what will always do the karma regret after what? Listening to our heart, our conscience. In order for us to connect with our ba, the ab and the ba, our real self, we must purify the ab. We must strive to grow in peace and purity of the heart. How you do this? By listening to your inner voice, aka of your soul. You strive to see with your inner eye, the spiritual eye. My mother-in-law is blind. She don't have a problem. Why? Because she uses this and she's doing just fine. She says, you the only one who understands. I say, yeah, I understand the spiritual eye. Okay, trust me. And she loves that. But it says here, Egyptian proverb, strive to see with your inner eye, third eye. Your heart, mind. It sees the reality not subject to what? Emotional or personal error. That's not egoistic. It's above that. It sees the essence. I see what you're looking at. I see your essence. You don't have a clue. But that's the difference in me and you. All right? But when you have intuition, knowledge, then it is the most important quality that you should master and develop for oneself. That intuition of knowledge, that's you knowing you are what? Immortal. And is listening to the note that the recent documented experiments at the top medical researchers, institutes, and hospitals in the United States, it show that what? That the major cause of heart attacks in modern society is not the dietary problem, but it's heartache. What you mean? This heartache is caused by feelings of what? Emptiness inside and a lack of meaning in one's life, and due to a lack of purpose in life, job dissatisfaction, a feeling of unhappiness, and a feeling of what? Mistrust in others. Woe is me. This is what's killing people. These are all ego-based elements. And I told you, the hieroglyphic for the ego is the man with a hatchet to his head. Self-destruction is the ego's favorite claim to fame. It will kill itself, not just somebody else. It will take its own life. It don't care. So, in all those elements I just gave you are all ego-based. Why? Because you live on a lower level. And they are caused how? By living in a manner, lower level, that goes against one's nature. Lower level. One is unable to perceive the universality of all things, and the ignorant belief that the one is separate themselves from everything else and everyone. So one with that ignorant becomes caught up in the idea is me against the world. That's that egoistic, ignorant mentality. Okay, foolish pride. He was a good dude in some aspect, but he was wrong in a few. But watch this. Now, this comes from our identification, which is the ego self of ourself, with what? The ego mindset, again, ego personality, which and the body, which are mortal, and they are both subject to error instead of with the immortal high part of your consciousness, ourselves, the true self, which is what? Eternal and one with all other beings and things of nature. Why? God is just that. And you, when you realize it's just that too. How about about that. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. No, it took a little long. I forgot the last bit of part. Hope it made sense. Hope you can understand it. And more importantly, hope you can use it to your benefit. That's the intent. I got to go. And right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 miles a day. So I never know my right thinkers who now understand the heart conscious, aka the ab, holds all truth, have passed away. And you know what we feel about that? You living right, you don't die, we multiply.